Good evening, everyone. Is my voice audible? Hanji. Good evening, everyone. Is my voice audible? Yes, yes, yes. Okay, okay. Hanji, Hanji. Yes. Thank you, thank you. ठीक है जी. Okay, guys. Yes, yes, yes. Good evening, everyone. Hanji. Yes. I see a lot of students have already joined with us, and I will give one more minute ताकि और students भी join कर लें. हाँ जी. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, योगेंद्र. Good evening. हाँ जी. जो डाउट्स हैं अभी हैंड रेस कर रहे हैं उनको थोड़े टाइम के बाद एड्रेस करते हैं. पहले मैं कुछ अपना इंट्रोडक्शन दे दूं कि हमारी क्लास का फॉर्मेट किस तरीके से रहेगा. एनसीईआरटी बैच का जो हमारा आज स्टार्ट हुआ है उसका फॉर्मेट किस तरीके से रहेगा. फिर आपके जो भी डाउट्स होंगे वो आपको बताऊंगा किस तरीके से एड्रेस किए जाएंगे. इज इट ओके हर्षप्रीत? ठीक है, अभी आप हैंड डाउन कर सकते हो. हाँ जी हर्षप्रीत. ओके जी. ओके ओके. सी द क्लास हियर विल बी इन bilingual. It will be in English as well as in Hindi to cater to all the aspirants that have joined with us. ठीक है, so it will be bilingual as I will try to make sure that I repeat the things in English as well as in Hindi. Don't worry about that. Class will be bilingual. It will be in English as well as in Hindi. So you have to cooperate with us. Okay. Voice नहीं आ रही है. Guys, let me know, is my voice coming through? Just give me an idea. Because someone is saying voice is not coming through. Audible. Okay, Vijay. Okay, ji. Yes. So, guys, welcome to our NCERT batch. Today, we're going to start with the topic environment. We're going to start with the topic environment. As environment holds a very important place in our UPSC exam, whether it is in prelims or whether it is in mains. दोनों ही एग्जाम में, whether it's in prelims as well as in mains, environment has a very important place. As we see, in our latest exams, previous 10 years exams, UPSC में environment के there are around 15 to 20 questions that are asked in prelims. So environment has a very important place in UPSC. So if we want to attain the knowledge on environment, so we have to start from the basics, that is NCERT. We can't leave NCERTs aside, especially that of environment. So environment को करने के लिए we have to cater to the NCERTs. जो NCERT environment की है, जो portion that we're going to discuss today is given in the biology class 12th NCERT. Is given in the class 12 biology NCERT last 4 chapters. So we're going to discuss and cover those 4 chapters in our 3 lectures comprehensively. Not only that, सिर्फ उन्हीं 4 को नहीं हम कंप्लीट करेंगे, बाकी उसके साथ मैं आपको यह भी बताऊंगा कि हाउ वी विल ट्राई टू लिंक दिस विद द एडवांस कोर्स. सो सबसे पहले आपको हल्का से एक आइडिया दूंगा कि व्हाट इज द सिलेबस ऑफ एनवायरनमेंट. अगर हम यूपीएससी की बात कर रहे हैं, व्हेन आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट यूपीएससी, व्हाट इज द सिलेबस ऑफ एनवायरनमेंट एंड व्हाट आर द टॉपिक्स दैट वी गोना कवर इन आवर एनसीईआरटी बैच, जो कि आज से स्टार्ट हो रहा है. ठीक है गाइस, चलिए जी. नाउ अगर मैं बात कर रहा हूं एनवायरनमेंट की, लिसन वेरी केयरफुली. इफ यू हैव एनी डाउट यू कैन राइट इन द कमेंट सेक्शन. अभी आप अपने डाउट कमेंट सेक्शन में डाल के अपने भेज सकते हैं अगर किसी को कोई भी डाउट आ रहा है. आई विल ट्राई टू सी मैक्सिमम चैट्स दैट आई कैन सी. नाउ व्हेन आई एम स्टार्टिंग विद द एनसीईआरटी बेसिक पार्ट, or when I'm trying to say you what comprises the syllabus of environment, this is very important. Before we start any topic for studying, हमें उसका syllabus पता होना चाहिए, the topics that we're gonna cover. सबसे पहले the basics. What is ecology? This is very very important. That gonna set up the foundation for our environment topic. What is ecology? Next is biodiversity. Very important topic. Second one is biodiversity. Next topic is climate change. Next is national acts and policies. And the last topic that comprise of environment section is international organizations and conventions. International organization and conventions. See, I have written 5 major topics here: ecology, biodiversity, climate change, national acts and policies, and international organization and conventions. When I talk about these three topics, ecology, biodiversity, and climate change, इसके अंदर we have to deal with the static part. मेनली अगर मैं बात कर रहा हूं इकोलॉजी पार्ट में, बिकॉज दिस इज गोना प्रोवाइड अस विद द कंटेंट. हमारे जो भी इसके रिलेटेड कंसेप्ट्स हैं दैट इज रिलेटेड टू एनवायरमेंट, इसको क्लियर कौन करेगा? इट्स गोना क्लियर द टॉपिक ऑफ इकोलॉजी एंड मेनली बायोडाइवर्सिटी. दीज टू टॉपिक्स आर कवर्ड इन आर एनसीईआरटी पार्ट. ये हमारे किसमें कवर्ड है? एनसीईआरटी पार्ट के अंदर. These are covered in our NCERT part. When I talk about the topics climate change, national acts and policies, and international organization and conventions, these are very, very important. But this is not covered in the NCERT. These are covered in our advanced course when we go for the full-fledged preparation of UPSC of the topic environment. Climate change is very, very important. आजकल जो भी समिट्स हो रही हैं, कन्वेंशंस हो रही है, मीटिंग्स हो रही हैं, व्हाट दे आर ट्राइंग टू एड्रेस? दे आर ट्राइंग टू एड्रेस दिस प्रॉब्लम ऑफ क्लाइमेट चेंज दैट इज हैपनिंग अराउंड अस. उसी के रिलेटेड देन वी हैव आवर नेशनल एक्ट्स एंड पॉलिसीज एंड देन इंटरनेशनल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन एंड कन्वेंशंस. इफ यू गाइज नो द सिलेबस pretty well, okay, what comprises the environment part, then the preparation for environment becomes very, very easy. How this is gonna become easy? I'm gonna tell you with a little example. अगर आपको ये सिलेबस समझ में आ गया है तो प्लीज टाइप यस कि that environment portion consists of ecology, biodiversity, climate change, national action policies and international organization and conventions. हाँ जी, is it clear everyone? Okay, thank you very much. Now listen very carefully. I told you the concept part is ecology. Okay, the concept part is ecology. Here I'm going to discuss all the things related to ecology. What is ecology? What is ecosystem? What is environment? What are different types of ecosystems? ये सब चीजें हम डिस्कस करेंगे. वी आर गोना डिस्कस व्हाट आर टेरेस्ट्रियल इकोसिस्टम, वी गोना डिस्कस इक्वेटिक इकोसिस्टम. नाउ aquatic ecosystem में there is a ecosystem known by the name of wetlands. Now how I'm gonna link this part 1 of the environment syllabus with the part 5, that is international organization. So wetlands are a very delicate ecosystem that is at threat. So in order to protect these wetlands, there is an international convention. Can anyone tell me the name? There is a particular convention that is dedicated to in order to restore the wetlands. Can anyone tell me the name of that international convention? Hanji. Yes, the name of the convention is Ramsar Convention. Very good. See, if you know the conceptual part of what? Wetlands. अगर आपको wetlands का conceptual part पता है तो उसके related अगर कोई भी news आती है related to international organization or even the national acts or policies that are dedicated to wetlands, so that completes your whole topic of wetlands. You need not go to any other source because you have covered wetland portion comprehensively. So this is the thing how we gonna link the environment syllabus. Environment में concept है wetlands. क्या wetlands क्या होते हैं? There are some problems related to wetlands. We need to know those problems. And what is the international governments or the national governments trying to eradicate those problems? That is being done through these international conventions, जिसके through आपका एक topic fully prepared हो जाएगा. So this is the linkage that you guys need to have or you need to keep in your mind when you are doing any portion of environment, whether it is related to ecology, whether it is related to biodiversity, or whether it is related to climate change. Is this little that line I'm trying to draw between 1 plus 5, which is a part of our syllabus, that is ecology and international organization, clear to you? But अभी जो हमारा फिलहाल कोर्स रहेगा उसके अंदर मैं आपको कंसेप्ट तो क्लियर कराऊंगा ही इन दोनों का, बट थोड़ा सा मैं आपको लिटिल नॉलेज भी दे के जाऊंगा, बिकॉज दैट इज ऑल्सो वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, लाइक आई हैव गिवन टूवर्ड्स इकोलॉजी, वेटलैंड्स लिंकिंग विद रामसर कन्वेंशन. हाँ जी, इज इट क्लियर गाइस? Okay, I will go slow, Pinky Kaushik. Don't worry about that. Here I am just trying to make you the connection कि किस तरीके से हम लिंक करने की कोशिश करेंगे. So don't worry about that. Okay, okay, okay. No worries. ठीक है जी. चलिए, अभी मैंने एक एग्जांपल दिया इकोलॉजी का. I have given you the example of what? Ecology. Now, let's look at the topic climate change. अब बात किसकी करते हैं? क्लाइमेट चेंज की. Okay, Sheetal, we will try to make sure the session is in English as well as in Hindi. But majority of the students, I think, will understand the English portion. So majority of the session will be in English. But I will try to make sure it is in English as well as in Hindi. तो इसके बारे में बार बार मत लिखिए कि इंग्लिश में है सर, हिंदी में. I have to cater to both the audience. Okay? चलिए जी. Now, again, I am trying to draw the linkage because I'm gonna try to make sure you get an idea कि व्हाट इज द सिलेबस ऑफ एनवायरनमेंट. बिकॉज हमें पता नहीं होता कि सिलेबस क्या है एनवायरनमेंट का, हम सीधा पढ़ना शुरू कर देते हैं एंड वी एंड अप नोवेयर. सो वी नीड टू हैव अ क्लियर विजन कि व्हाट वी आर गोना स्टडी, हाउ वी गोना स्टडी एंड हाउ वी हैव टू अप्रोच द सब्जेक्ट. नाउ, क्लाइमेट चेंज एक रियलिटी है जो हमारे सामने है. क्लाइमेट चेंज क्या है? एक रियलिटी है दैट इज इन फ्रंट ऑफ अस. वी नो. सो देयर आर सम रीजंस. There are some reasons related to climate change. Obvious one is the greenhouse gas concentration. Greenhouse gases concentration which is increasing. ये चीज हमारे सामने है. वर्ल्ड का, हमारी अर्थ का टेम्परेचर बढ़ रहा है. That is a serious concern. क्लाइमेट चेंज टॉपिक, प्रॉब्लम हमारे सामने है. वर्ल्ड एंड इंडिया एज वेल एज इंटरनेशनल ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस आर डीलिंग इन ऑर्डर टू कॉम्बैट दिस क्लाइमेट चेंज. वेटलैंड्स के लिए जैसे रामसर कन्वेंशन बना दी, वेटलैंड्स के लिए जैसे रामसर कन्वेंशन बना दी है, क्लाइमेट चेंज को डील करने के लिए, क्लाइमेट चेंज को डील करने के लिए देयर इज अ स्पेसिफिक कन्वेंशन बाय द नेम ऑफ UNFCCC. By the name of UNFCCC, which is United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. I'm going to write down the name. United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. On climate change. अब ध्यान से सुनो, listen very carefully. Linkage, climate change topic, international organization UNFCCC, United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. What it is trying to do? It is trying to do as much as it could do in order to reduce our dependence. I'm saying it again. It is trying to reduce our dependence on what? Carbon. किसकी डिपेंडेंस को कम करने की कोशिश कर रही है? कार्बन को और दी ग्रीन हाउस गैसेस. इंडिया के अंदर आप सबको पता होगा क्लाइमेट चेंज के रिलेटेड बहुत सीरियस एफर्ट्स किए जा रहे हैं. जैसे कि अभी लेटेस्ट गाड़ियों के नए स्टैंडर्ड्स आ गए हैं. द रीसेंट स्टैंडर्ड्स दैट हैव कम इज BS6 स्टैंडर्ड्स. आई होप एवरीवन नोज कि BS6 स्टैंडर्ड्स की अब गाड़ियां आनी शुरू हो चुकी हैं. दैट इज भारत स्टेज 6 इमिशन स्टैंडर्ड नॉर्म्स. इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल्स का कंसेप्ट आना शुरू हो गया है. सोलर एनर्जी से ज्यादा एनर्जी हम प्रोड्यूस कर रहे हैं. Why we are going towards these things that are not related to carbon? Because we have to tackle the problem of climate change. This is the thing that we do in the environment part. Climate change topic समझा? Yes, done. उसकी problems क्या थी? समझ ली, that is done. Then what we gonna do? We gonna discuss what are the national acts that are related to solving the climate change problem, and what are the international organizations that are there in order to solve the problem of climate change. This is the basic that you guys need to know जब हम स्टडी करते हैं एनवायरमेंट टॉपिक को. बट जो हमारी एनसीईआरटी है that we're going to discuss is class plus 2 biology NCERT. I am repeating it again for everyone. We're going to discuss the class plus 2 biology NCERT last 4 chapters that specifically deals with ecology and biodiversity, जिससे आपका एक कंसेप्ट क्लियर हो जाएगा. एंड व्हेन यू मूव टू द एडवांस कोर्स these things will be automatically clear to you guys. What are the various conventions and what are the national acts and policies? The environment portion is very, very simple. Just you have to apply yourself, a little brainstorming you have to do, be a little attentive, then everything will fall in place for you for the environment topic. I hope the intro part of what constitute the environment syllabus is clear to all. Hanji. Are you with me, guys? Yes. Hanji. Okay. If you guys want to write down something, you can write down this. What constitute our syllabus of environment? Write down these 5 topics: ecology, biodiversity, climate change, national acts and policies, and international organization and conventions. Please write it down. Vijay Lakshmi ji, this is the whole syllabus. I have constituted it in one flow chart. एक फ्लो चार्ट याद रख लो, पेपर में कभी गलती नहीं हो गई. You need to have syllabus in your tips when you are preparing for UPSC, for prelims as well as mains. Aditya, I will try to give you the hints like I have given you related to climate change, UNFCCC. When I will be little bit talking about ozone layer, I will talk you about the Vienna Convention, Montreal Protocol. So I will give you the hints and the conventions also wherever it is necessary. Okay, Aditya? Hanji. When you have written these down, please type yes, sir, or done, sir. ओके गाइस, चलिए जी. आई एम गोना स्टार्ट नाउ द बेसिक एनसीईआरटी जो हमने अभी डिस्कस करनी है. देयर आर चैप्टर नंबर 13, 14, 15 एंड 16. आई एम गोना राइट इट अगेन. हमने क्लास में क्या कवर करना है इन द 3 लेक्चर्स? क्लास प्लस 2 बायोलॉजी एनसीईआरटी, चैप्टर नंबर 13, 14, 15 एंड 16. ये 4 चैप्टर्स हमने डिस्कस करने हैं. टुडे आई एम गोना स्टार्ट विद द टॉपिक ऑफ चैप्टर नंबर 14. चैप्टर नंबर 14 हम स्टार्ट करने वाले हैं. उससे पहले उसके रिलेटेड चैप्टर नंबर 14 की पीडीएफ हमने कंसाइज करके आपके सामने रख दी गई है और आपको ये पोर्टल पे मिल जाएगी. जो आज हम डिस्कस करेंगे उसका सारा पार्ट हमने कंसाइज करके बहुत ही अच्छे तरीके से आपके लिए नोट्स में प्रोवाइड ऑलरेडी कर दिया है. द टॉपिक दैट वी गोना कवर टुडे. सो अगर आप साथ में लिखना चाहते हो लिख सकते हो, ठीक है. इफ यू गोना वांट टू राइट डाउन साइड बाय साइड व्हाट आई एम ट्राइंग टू से, जो भी स्टार्ट करेंगे, वेल एंड गुड. इफ यू डोंट वांट टू राइट इट देन इट्स आल्सो गुड. ओके, नाउ let me start with the topic that is the very basic topic. Most of the students try to leave the topic because it is very basic, but UPSC surprises us every time. How it surprises us? Because it frames questions from this basic concepts जो अभी हम डिस्कस करेंगे. So first of all, there are 3 important terms when I start the topic of eco environment. इकोसिस्टम, इकोलॉजी एंड एनवायरमेंट। ये तीन बेसिक टर्म्स हमारे सामने आती हैं कि व्हाट इज एनवायरमेंट, व्हाट इज इकोसिस्टम एंड व्हाट इज इकोलॉजी। ओके Aditya, yes, there are some environment related concepts, but that will be incorporated in this our batch also, so you don't need to worry about that. Okay, Nanny, you can make running notes. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, now listen very carefully. These are very important terms: environment, ecology, and ecosystem. Let me start with explaining what is environment. ध्यान से सुनना. This game will become very easy for you. The game will become very easy for you. Now listen. What is environment? I'm going to write down two basic things: biotic components
I'm sorry, sir. Students, I'm very sorry, but there was some technical glitch जिनसे हमने ये IT solutions लिए हुए हैं, उनकी तरफ से कुछ प्रॉब्लम आ गई. सो बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स जिन्होंने पे किया था इस कोर्स के लिए, उनको आज लॉगिन नहीं मिल पाया. बिकॉज ऑफ दिस प्रॉब्लम वी हैड टू पुट इट लाइव ऑन यूट्यूब. ये सिर्फ आज के लिए लाइव है, फॉर टुडे ओनली. कल से ये आपको आपके लॉगिन्स मिलेंगे और ये आपके लिए एक्सक्लूसिव चलेगा. इट विल नॉट बी फ्री फॉर एवरीवन. So I'm sorry that we couldn't share all the details with you today because of that technical glitch. And thanks for supporting. I've been receiving messages since morning. We were trying our best, but unfortunately we failed. But I hope you guys are enjoying the class by Rahul sir. He's one of the most phenomenal teachers we have, right? Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Okay, guys. As the message has been conveyed to you by Raj sir, okay? Now we're going to start our resume our class. So here I'm going to talk about the top. I was talking about the topic environment. So it consists of two components. One is the basic biotic components and other is the abiotic components. Environment mein there is one thing that is very necessary. Yet you need to know the key words or the environmental terms. Biotic components. These are the living components. And what are the abiotic components? These are the non-living components. So what comprises in living components? Producers that makes their own food, like green plants. Producers. Then we have the consumers that are dependent on producers for their food and for their survival. When producers and consumers die, who feed on them? Decomposers feed on them. So what living components comprise of? Or what biotic components comprise of? These comprise of producers, consumers, and decomposers. And when I talk about non-living components, everything that is surrounded by us: temperature, air, water, soil, humidity, precipitation, everything will come under this non-living component or the abiotic component. The situations that are around us, that is also part of what? Abiotic components. So environment as a whole consists of two things, that is biotic components as well as abiotic components. Biotic components are the living ones, which can be producers, consumers, or the decomposers. And when I talk about the abiotic components, these are the non-living components, like temperature, our atmospheric pressure, water, soil, humidity, precipitation. So environment definition is very, very important. Why this definition is very, very important? Because we need to know the definition of ecosystem. इकोसिस्टम की डेफिनेशन जानने के लिए सबसे पहले हमें एनवायरनमेंट के रास्ते से जाना पड़ेगा. So environment की definition you need to learn it by heart, that it is biotic plus abiotic components, living and non-living components. Vijay Lakshmi ji, precipitation, rainfall. Okay, so this is the environment portion, that is biotic and abiotic. Is it clear to everyone? Then type yes. Okay. So you have understood the term environment as your messages are trying to convey. Yes, sir. Now, come to the second term, ecosystem. बहुत बार हमने पढ़ा होगा स्मॉलर क्लासेस में, लोअर लेवल क्लासेस पे इकोसिस्टम क्या है. नाउ द गेम इज गोना बिकम सिंपल एंड इजी. हाउ? Write down, I'm going to write down 3 important keywords and that will make the job easy for you. How? मैंने 3 कीवर्ड्स लिख दिए हैं. बायोटिक प्लस एबायोटिक जो अभी पढ़ा, that was the environmental part. When this biotic plus abiotic components interact with each other, second keyword is interaction. When biotic and abiotic components interact with each other in a definite boundary. Now this is very, very important. I'm going to tell you how this is very, very important. When biotic plus abiotic components interact with one another in a definite boundary, it becomes what? Ecosystem. क्या बन जाता है वो? It becomes the ecosystem. Let me give you an example. I'm trying to make the map of Africa. Hopefully I'm able to draw it rough. Okay. Equator line passes through this point. यहां पे कॉन्गो एरिया है, अगर मैं कह सकता हूं तो. ठीक है. अब यहां पे आई से बायोटिक एंड एबायोटिक कंपोनेंट्स होंगे, कुछ लिविंग कंपोनेंट्स होंगे, कुछ नॉन लिविंग कंपोनेंट्स होंगे, दैट विल इंटरेक्ट विद ईच अदर इन अ डेफिनेट बाउंड्री, दैट विल मेक व्हाट? इकोसिस्टम. सो देयर इज द, यहां पे इस पर्टिकुलर रेंज में, इन दिस पर्टिकुलर रेंज वी फाउंड अ इकोसिस्टम बाय द नेम ऑफ ट्रॉपिकल रेन फॉरेस्ट. यहां पे क्या मिलता है? ट्रॉपिकल रेन फॉरेस्ट. व्हाई वी आर एबल टू फाइंड फॉरेस्ट हियर? बिकॉज precipitation is very high here. Precipitation is very high here. So that is why हमें यहां पे जो इकोसिस्टम मिल रहा है, that is known by the name of tropical rain forest. इस पर्टिकुलर रीजन के अंदर बायोटिक कंपोनेंट्स एंड एबायोटिक कंपोनेंट्स इंटरेक्टिंग विद ईच अदर इन अ डेफिनेट बाउंड्री. That is why I have written the name definite boundary, because this is the boundary of this ecosystem. When I go beyond in this portion, precipitation is less. Precipitation is less. Therefore, forest will not be formed in this particular region. Here, what we will be able to find? Grasslands. Because here precipitation is less as compared to the region of this Congo region known by the name of tropical rain forest. So the area limited is this portion. I move forward here. Sahara Desert. Again another ecosystem. How? Because here precipitation is least among these 3 parts, among this forest, grassland and desert. Here the precipitation is the least. So here what the formation is of? Formation is of desert. So biotic and abiotic components interact. And what we found here, 3 different types of ecosystem, because definite boundary तो है ही है. एक इकोसिस्टम कंटिन्यूअसली ऊपर तक नहीं जा रहा, ट्रॉपिकल रेन फॉरेस्ट यहां तक नहीं है, बिकॉज उनको हिंडर कर रहे हैं कुछ कंडीशंस. एज सून एज टेम्परेचर एंड प्रेसिपिटेशन चेंजेस, ecosystem changes from tropical rainforest to grasslands and to deserts. This is the definition of ecosystem. यहां पे मैंने आपको क्या बताया है? What I have told you? I have told you 3 ecosystems that are formed on land. That are formed on land. We call them terrestrial ecosystem. What we call them? Terrestrial ecosystem. So ecosystem is what? Interaction of biotic and abiotic in a definite boundary. I took an example of Africa and tried to show you three different types of ecosystem on land. Land means terrestrial ecosystem. In this equator region, we found an ecosystem by the name of tropical rainforest, because here temperature and precipitation are such that it favors the formation of forest. As I move upwards, there temperature and precipitation is such that it favors the formation of grasslands. And I further move forward north, then the temperature and precipitation is such that it favors the formation of Sahara desert. So I move from forest, grassland and desert. So there are three types of terrestrial ecosystem: forest, grassland and desert. This is the thing that you need to know. हाँ जी, किसी का कोई डाउट है इसमें? Rainfall is high because the temperature is high. वो हवा लाइट, एयर गेट्स लाइट, वो ऊपर जाती है, क्लाउड्स की फॉर्मेशन होती है, कंडेंसेशन होती है, एंड देन प्रेसिपिटेशन हैपेंस. Congo is a country. Congo is a country here in the equator region in Africa. हाँ जी. Is this thing clear, guys? What is ecosystem? Ecosystem is biotic plus abiotic components interacting with each other in a definite boundary. This was the environmental part. This is the ecosystem part. And we have discussed ecosystem of terrestrial part, which is of three types: forest, grassland and desert. haan ji, is this thing clear to everyone? Type yes. Shital, your queries will be answered after the class. If you have any query, you can write in the comment section. Okay, chaliye ji. So we are going to have discussed two major definitions. Environment is done. के वो हो गया बायोटिक और एबायोटिक कंपोनेंट. इकोसिस्टम हो गया बायोटिक और एबायोटिक कंपोनेंट का आपस में कैसे इंटरेक्ट कर रहे हैं टेम्परेचर के साथ, प्रेसिपिटेशन के साथ. उस तरीके से वहां पे हमें इकोसिस्टम मिल रहा है, फॉरेस्ट मिल रहे हैं, वी आर गेटिंग ग्रासलैंड, देन वी आर गेटिंग डेजर्ट. हियर आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट द terrestrial ecosystem. So this was ecosystem. And then the last thing was, what is ecology? Now the third key definition that we need to know is, what is ecology? Ecology, जो अभी हम ये सब चीजें पढ़ रहे हैं, बायोटिक कंपोनेंट्स, एबायोटिक कंपोनेंट्स interacting with each other, biotic components interacting with biotic components, biotic components interacting with abiotic components. जब हम इनकी स्टडी कर देंगे, that will become ecology. So ecology is what? It is a study of relationship, how biotic components interact with biotic components and biotic components interact with abiotic components. कैसे producers खाना बना रहे हैं, how the producers are making their food, how it is being transferred to consumers, and how decomposers are feeding on them. What are the different types of food chain in which all these three things are happening? That whole study that we're going to do, the next topics that we're going to discuss, is nothing but ecology. That is nothing but ecology. We need to have an insight how this whole process works, how we get energy, how do the plant gets energy, how does they prepare their food, how it get transferred. That all thing that we're going to discuss in the coming few minutes. So ecology is what? How these biotic and abiotic components interacting with each other, how plants are able to use sunlight, that is a part of ecology. How the plants are being eaten by cow, and then cow is eaten by some another higher trophic level. So that's those things that we're going to discuss is going to be covered under the topic of ecology. I hope you are clear with now three basic terminologies, because this is going to give you, and this is going to give you the, we can say, the foundation on which we will base our classes. So three key definitions is environment, ecosystem and ecology. Environment क्या है? Biotic और abiotic components. And what is ecology? Ecosystem, biotic and abiotic components interacting with each other in a definite boundary. And what is ecology? In सबकी study कर लेंगे. When we will study whole this, it will become a part of our ecology. Is this three things clear? Then type yes. Aquatic ecosystem अभी आएगा बेटा. Aquatic ecosystem we're gonna do. Don't worry about that. Okay. चलिए. Now, listen very carefully. There was a question in 2016 UPSC exam. I told you in beginning, UPSC surprises us with basic little things. How it surprises us? Let's have a look. Question was, which of the following best describes the term ecosystem? हमारे पास चार ऑप्शंस थी. They gave us four options, A, B, C, D. Most of the options were similar with each other, but only one option had the word, let's say it was B option, had the word interaction. So I just told you the definition of ecosystem. By tick, A by tick, main keyword interaction. That was very, very important. So interaction सिर्फ एक ही ऑप्शन में लिखा हुआ था. That was in the B option or any other option. So UPSC plays with us in such simpler ways. So that is why I am telling you guys again, concept building is very, very important. जो एक basic है जिससे हमारा टॉपिक स्टार्ट होता है. Who could imagine that UPSC could ask which of the following best describes the term ecosystem, which we think is such a basic thing? No, it has a very deep meaning because the word here important is the interaction. That is why I was telling you there are three keywords in the definition of ecosystem that we need to know. Before that, we need to know the definition of environment. Is it clear? So see how the question is being asked in the UPSC exam. Hanji. Don't worry about the all options, Vijay Lakshmi ji. The important thing is that you need to know the keyword in the definition of ecosystem. Hanji, is it clear, guys? Chaliye ji. Okay, now the basic definition is clear to you guys. Okay, what is ecology, what is ecosystem, and what is environment. See, so basics clear करना बहुत जरूरी था before we could proceed with our next topic. Clear, guys? Now, जब मैं बात कर रहा हूं ecosystem की, when I'm talking about ecosystem, terrestrial I have discussed, that is on land, forest, grasslands and deserts. ठीक है जी, forest, grassland and deserts. Then we have aquatic ecosystem. Aquatic ecosystem. So ecosystem are of two types, terrestrial and aquatic. Terrestrial we had three types, forest, grassland and deserts. And in aquatic, the ecosystem is defined on the basis of salt content or on the basis of salinity. कि उस इकोसिस्टम की सैलिनिटी कैसी है, उस हिसाब से वी डिफाइन इक्वेटिक इकोसिस्टम. We define aquatic ecosystem. When you have salinity in the range of 0 to 5 ppt, salinity is defined in the terms of ppt, parts per thousand. Then we call that aquatic ecosystem as freshwater ecosystem. We call that as freshwater ecosystem. जैसे कि हमारी रिवर्स होगी, लेक्स हो. Then we have brackish water. What we have? We have brackish water ecosystem. What is brackish water? In the range of 5 to 35 ppt. Range of 5 to 35 ppt. That is parts per thousand. Brackish mein what comes? Wetlands. We're going to discuss it. Wetlands, estuaries. These all terms come in the what definition of brackish aquatic ecosystem, because aquatic ecosystems are defined on the basis of salinity. They are defined on the basis of salinity. Fresh water in the range of 0 to 5, brackish in the range of 5 to 35. Then we have open oceans. we have open oceans where the salinity is above 35 ppt. Where the salinity is above 35 ppt, there we call aquatic ecosystem as open oceans. So terrestrial ecosystem was defined on the basis of temperature and precipitation. As soon as the temperature and precipitation changed, ecosystem changed. Precipitation ज्यादा forest, फिर उससे कम grasslands, उससे कम तो desert. But aquatic ecosystems are defined on the basis of salinity. 0 to 5 freshwater ecosystem, brackish water 5 to 35, and then we have the open oceans where the salinity is greater than 35 ppt, because salinity is defined in the range of parts per thousand. So basic you need to know that ecosystems are of two types. Anyone was asking me what are aquatic ecosystem? So there are freshwater, brackish water and open oceans. Is it clear guys? haan ji Aditya, ppt is parts per thousand. Yes Kusum, जो हम पहले बात कर रहे थे बायोटिक टू बायोटिक इंटरेक्शन भी है. Yes. हाँ जी, please note it down. This is very very important कि aquatic ecosystem are of three types: freshwater, brackish water and open oceans. And when you have written it down, please type yes. I will tell you what are wetlands. I will tell you wetlands क्या होते हैं. एक प्रॉपर डेफिनेशन दी है ग्राम सर ने, वो भी समझाऊंगा, बट लेट द टाइम कम. आई विल ट्राई टू एक्सप्लेन. ठीक है, अभी हम वहीं पे रहेंगे जहां पे अभी हम अपने कंसेप्ट को बिल्ड कर रहे हैं. अभी इक्वेटिक एक्वेट सिस्टम पता चल गया, वेटलैंड दिमाग में आ गया ना. यू आर गेटिंग द क्वेश्चंस. So now you are on the path to study environment, because now you are curious what are wetlands. I will tell you, don't worry. दलदल सुना होगा आपने, वैसा कुछ होता है एरिया वेटलैंड्स का. वो एक तरह का वेटलैंड है. वेटलैंड में भी काफी ज्यादा टाइप्स हैं. ओके हाँ जी हाँ जी. बायोटिक टू बायोटिक इंटरेक्शंस होती हैं. बायोटिक टू बायोटिक इंटरेक्शंस होती हैं. एक ट्रॉफिक लेवल दूसरे ट्रॉफिक लेवल के साथ इंटरेक्ट करता है. एक प्रीडेटर होता है लाइक द टाइगर दैट प्रेज, जिसके ऊपर डियर के ऊपर, वो भी तो बायोटिक टू बायोटिक इंटरेक्शन है. ऐसी बहुत सारी इंटरेक्शन है जो हम कवर करेंगे. सो डोंट वरी. यस विजयलक्ष्मी जी, पीपीटी मींस पार्ट्स पर थाउजेंड. कंसेप्ट बिहाइंड पीपीटी मेजरमेंट, सैलिनिटी से डिफाइन किया जाता है कि नंबर ऑफ सॉल्ट्स कितने डिसॉल्व्ड हैं पानी के अंदर. उसके हिसाब से हम सैलिनिटी के बेसिस पे हम डिफाइन करते हैं टाइप्स ऑफ इकोसिस्टम. एस्ट्रीज भी एक टाइप ऑफ हम कह सकते हैं कि ट्रांजिशनल एरिया होता है. ब्रैकिश वाटर, ये फ्रेश वाटर और ओपन ओशियंस के बीच में जो ट्रांजिशनल एरिया होता है, सैलिनिटी इसकी मिड रेंज में है. 5 to 35 के बीच में है, बट ना 35 से ज्यादा है ना ही 5 से कम है. सो ब्रैकिश वाटर आप कह सकते हो एक तरह से ट्रांजिशनल एरिया है बिटवीन फ्रेश वाटर एंड ओपन ओशियंस. ओके गाइस, इज इट क्लियर? हाँ जी, इतना क्लियर है. टाइप्स ऑफ इकोसिस्टम, इफ इट इज क्लियर टाइप यस. नो, सिर्फ उसी बेसिस पे डिफाइन नहीं होते. एक तरीका है डिफाइन करने का टेरेस्ट्रियल इकोसिस्टम को, लिमिट कर देता है उनकी बाउंड्री को. टेम्परेचर एंड प्रेसिपिटेशन हैव डन व्हाट? दे हैव लिमिटेड द बाउंड्री ऑफ फ्रेश वाटर, सॉरी ट्रॉपिकल रेन फॉरेस्ट, ग्रासलैंड एंड डेजर्ट्स. अगर टेम्परेचर और प्रेसिपिटेशन चेंज ना होता तो ये, सॉरी, अगर ये चेंज ना होता इस एरिया के अंदर, जो सारा एरिया है ये ट्रॉपिकल रेन फॉरेस्ट होता. बट नो, यहां तक लिमिटेड इसलिए था बिकॉज टेम्परेचर एंड प्रेसिपिटेशन चेंज. दैट आई एम गोना टेल यू फर्दर. Brackish water examples, I have written it down: wetlands and estuaries. Write it down: wetlands and estuaries. Okay. abiotic to abiotic कैसे इंटरेक्ट करेंगी? वो बायोटिक के साथ मिलकर इंटरेक्ट करेंगी बेटा. ठीक है. नाउ we have done basic three things: what is ecology, ecosystem, environment, and what are the types of ecosystem. Now the most important thing that is a part of our ecology study, functions of ecosystem. Now this is very very important. Functions of ecosystem. But before that, you need to know one thing. write it down if you want to write it down with me. Levels of organization in ecology. These levels are very, very important. Levels of organization in ecology. Levels of organization in ecology. अगर हम start करें, if I start from the basic, then I am as an individual is at the micro level in terms of level of organization in ecology. So I'm placing myself here. This is the micro level, and I have to reach the macro level, the highest unit. Okay. So here at the micro level is an individual, or we can say species. एक कोई species है, कोई एक tiger है, या कोई human है, या कोई cat है. That comprises at this micro level, that is the individual or the species. If I combine all the species, cats को मैंने combine कर दिया और tigers को combine कर दिया, तब मैं उसकी क्या बना रहा हूं? What I'm trying to make their population. What I'm trying to make is their population. Very, very interesting thing. Very, very interesting thing. Just listen very carefully. At an individual level, I have a one species. Let's say tiger. टाइगर. टाइगर के साथ उनके कुछ ग्रुप ऑफ टाइगर्स को इकट्ठा कर दिया किसी एरिया के अंदर. आई हैव कंबाइंड इट. तो उसकी क्या बन गई? वो पॉपुलेशन. कम्युनिटी. नेक्स्ट स्टेज इज कम्युनिटी. When I have, suppose let's say this is a little ecosystem I have. Oh, sorry, this is a little area I have, not an ecosystem. This is a little area I have. Here I have tigers, I have cats, I have dogs, I have elephants. Let's say these whole biotic components. Now the term is here is very, very important. Biotic components interacting with one another. Sirf biotic components. That makes our community. I started with an individual, let's say tiger. Then I got through their population of tigers. Then I combined in a certain area all the tigers, cats, dogs, and elephants which are interacting with each other. Only the biotic components. Only the biotic components. What I got? I got the community part. What I got the community part. Next, after community, I have ecosystem, which we discussed just now, which is community में सिर्फ biotic था. Ecosystem में I got biotic plus abiotic components. What I got? Biotic plus abiotic components, which is a bigger area. हम एक लेवल से ऊपर बढ़ रहे हैं ना. एक टाइगर से बढ़ के ग्रुप ऑफ टाइगर पॉपुलेशन में गए, फिर एक एरिया के अंदर हमने प्रॉपर बायोटिक कंपोनेंट्स ले लिए, फिर मैंने उसे बड़ा करके बायोटिक और एबायोटिक कंपोनेंट्स को आपस में इंटरेक्ट कर दिया इन इकोसिस्टम. देन व्हाट आई हैव biome. Sorry, what I have? Biome. Now what is a biome? Listen very carefully. I am drawing here, suppose this area of Eurasia. रशिया वाला पार्ट बनाया है, ठीक है. I am saying this whole area is a biome. This whole area is a biome. You will yourself get the definition of biome. Here I have forest, I have grasslands, I have desert also. एक बड़ा एरिया जिसमें एक से ज्यादा इकोसिस्टम है, an area which comprises of two or more ecosystem becomes what? Biome. An area which contains two or more ecosystems is known by the name of biome, which is a level above in levels of organization in ecology, above ecosystem. Above ecosystem. So I started with the bottom, individual, population, community. में what I got all the biotic components and interacted with them. I got a community. But community के बाद I need to have biotic plus abiotic interaction, which I got in ecosystem. But further, there is a thing called biome. What is biome? Biome is an area which consists of 2 or more ecosystem. This biome is known by the name of taiga. In Russia, this is known by the name of taiga. Taiga. Remember this. This is taiga. Taiga. It's an area which contains 2 or more ecosystem. If I take all the biomes of the world, because I have to now constitute it where there is life in land, in water and air. In land, water and air, what I will get? I will get biosphere. What I will get? I will get biosphere. जिसके अंदर लाइफ प्रेजेंट है पूरे वर्ल्ड के अंदर ऑन लिथोस्फेयर लैंड, हाइड्रोस्फेयर वाटर, एटमॉस्फेयर एयर, that portion will be the highest point in levels of organization. At the macro level, I have biosphere. At the micro level, I have an individual. एक इंडिविजुअल धीरे धीरे करके किस तरीके से हम बड़े ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल लेवल में, हाउ वी मूव्ड अप द ऑर्डर फ्रॉम इंडिविजुअल टू पॉपुलेशन टू कम्युनिटी, आई मूव टू इकोसिस्टम. इकोसिस्टम से भी ऊपर है बायोम, जिसमें एक से ज्यादा इकोसिस्टम्स हैं, that contains 2 or more ecosystems. Then I went further, one step ahead. I moved to that area where there is life on earth, land, water, air. That becomes my biosphere. So when we discuss levels of organization in ecology, we start with an individual or species. We discuss then population. We then come across the term community. We come across the term ecosystem. We come across the term biome, and then what we have? Biosphere. Is it clear to you guys? Here I haven't said that they will not interact. I am trying to establish a relationship. When I'm talking about an individual, it gonna not survive without any abiotic interaction. That is the meaning of these levels of organization. How एक organization से हम बढ़ के biosphere की बात कर रहे हैं, because biosphere is the place where life exists. That is why I have teaching you it in isolation. कि एक individual है, वो उनकी community population बनी, फिर उनकी community बनी, फिर एक ecosystem बना जहां पे interact किया, फिर एक biome बना जहां पे बहुत सारे ecosystems हैं, and then what we have the biosphere, जहां पे whole life is existing, because life exists only when biotic and abiotic components are interacting all over the world or on this earth. Is it clear, guys? हाँ जी. Please define biosphere. Biosphere is that portion on the earth where there is life. Remember this line. I'm going to write it again. Biosphere, that portion where there is life. On earth, whether land, water or air. Then when I come down, I have biome. When I come down, I have ecosystem. I come down, we have community. When I come down, we have population. And when at the last micro level, I have an individual. Yes, guys, this is the hierarchy that we have set up in this level of organization in ecology. Individual move from population to community to ecosystem to biome to biosphere. I hope you have got my point. If you are clear and want to move to the next topic, type yes. Okay, now then the next topic I'm going to cover is functions of ecosystem. Broadly, there are 5 functions of ecosystem. Write it down with me. Productivity, decomposition. This is very important, guys. इससे आपका बेस बनेगा. This is the basic. Energy flow, ecological succession, Most of the terms would be new to you, but after the session is over, you will be familiar with all the terms. And last is nutrient cycling. Okay. Now, is defined on the other planet? No, it is defined on our only planet. हम अपने डेफिनेशन बात करें जहां पे लाइफ एग्जिस्ट कर रही है ऑन लैंड वाटर एंड एयर. Okay. Now, functions of ecosystem is productivity, decomposition, energy flow, ecological succession and nutrient cycling. Okay. शीतल is saying in terms को हिंदी में भी बता देना. Okay, I will try to make sure how much हिंदी जितनी मुझे आती है I will, क्योंकि बेसिक तो नहीं इनको कन्वर्ट कर पाऊंगा, पर हिंदी में साथ के साथ आपको बताता रहूंगा. ठीक है, डोंट वरी अबाउट दैट. नाउ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, फंक्शंस ऑफ इकोसिस्टम. राइट डाउन दिस 5 फंक्शंस. पहले इन सबको लिख लीजिए. फर्स्ट इज प्रोडक्टिविटी, सेकंड इज डिकम्पोजिशन, थर्ड इज एनर्जी फ्लो, फोर्थ इज इकोलॉजिकल सक्सेशन एंड फिफ्थ इज न्यूट्रिएंट साइक्लिंग. पहले इन सबको लिख लो. राइट इट डाउन. When you have written it down, then type yes. Okay, very good. चलिए. So I'm going to start with the first topic or the first function, productivity. अगर आपको ये समझ में आ गया, then you have got the basic done. ठीक है? Listen very carefully. When I'm talking about environment, है ना, we try to move from like plants to cows or deers and then to tigers. We define them in trophic levels. What we define them in trophic level? Like plants come at trophic level 1, cows come in trophic level 2, and then say suppose last is the tiger, trophic level 3. There are certain levels. This is trophic level 1, this is trophic level 2, and this is trophic level 3. They need some source of energy, cows and tiger. They can't prepare their own food because they are what? They are consumers. They are consumers, or what we call them heterotrophs. Heterotrophs. Why we call them heterotrophs? Because they can't prepare their own food. They are dependent on what? On these plants, which are the producers. They are dependent on these producers, or what we can label them as autotrophs. So this is very important. What I have made a certain a little food chain. You can call it plants eaten by cows, cows eaten by tiger. These two are consumers known by the name of heterotrophs because they can't prepare their own food. These are producers जो अपना खाना खुद बनाते हैं. We call them autotrophs that prepare their own food. Now, plants, how do they prepare their food? How do they get their energy? Can anyone tell me? बचपन से पढ़ते आ रहे हैं. हाँ जी. How do plants prepare their food? What's the process known as? Yes, the process is photosynthesis. They use what? Sunlight. Photosynthesis के through they prepare the food, or we can call it the organic matter. They produce what? Organic matter through sunlight in the process of photosynthesis. So sun is the source of energy. यहां पे source of energy कहां से आ रही है? अगर plants यहां पे organic matter नहीं बनाएंगे तो आगे फूड चेन कंटिन्यू कैसे करेगी? It will not be able to continue. So the source of energy in all this is sunlight that is coming from the sun. That is the source of energy for the plants to prepare this organic matter. Suppose they have made 100 units. They have made what? 100 units of organic matter. Let's say 10 यूनिट्स इज यूज्ड बाय प्लांट्स फॉर इटसेल्फ, उसके खुद के मेटाबॉलिज्म के लिए 10 यूनिट्स इज बीइंग यूटिलाइज्ड बाय प्लांट्स. Rest this 90, 100 minus 10, 90 will be passed on to the cows. अवेलेबल कितना है काउस पे पास होने के लिए? 90 यूनिट्स. बट दिस होल 90 यूनिट्स विल नॉट बी पास अकॉर्डिंग टू द 10% रूल. हाउ मच इट विल बी पास? इट विल बी 10% of 90 that will pass to cows. What is 10% of 90? Only 9 units. Plants ने photosynthesis की, they did photosynthesis and they prepared 100 units of organic matter or the energy. Some units are being utilized by plant, let's say 10. Rest 90 is available for cows. But according to the 10% rule, only 10% is transferred. That is 9 units are transferred. Only what? 9 units are transferred. Let's say cows utilize 1 unit out of 9. Remaining available is 8 units. How much will be utilized by tiger? 10% of these 8 units, which will be 0.8 units. प्लांट्स ने फोटोसिंथेसिस की, सनलाइट की प्रेजेंस में ऑर्गेनिक मैटर बनाया 100 यूनिट्स. दे यूटिलाइज 10, passed on 90, but according to the 10% rule, how much will be transfer? Only 10% of this 90, which is 9 units, and rest of them will be lost as heat. हीट की फॉर्म में क्या हो जाएगी? लूज कर जाएगी. अगेन द 10% rule will continue. Now, what was the topic? Productivity. What is productivity? The rate of organic matter produced during photosynthesis is known as productivity. What is productivity? Rate of organic matter produced during photosynthesis. इसे हम क्या बोलते हैं? Productivity. और we can call it as the gross productivity. क्या बोल सकते हैं इसे? Gross productivity. Why it is gross productivity? Because initially how much they prepared? 100 units. 10 units was utilized by the plants. How much was available by the plants to the cows? These 90 units. 10 units was being utilized by them. Agar productivity is the rate of organic matter, and if gross productivity is the total 100 units that were originally prepared, 100 units अगर यूटिलाइज हो गए तो बचे कितने? 10. 90. So this 90 is the net productivity. ये 90 क्या हो गई? Net productivity. So what is productivity? Rate of organic matter. जो स्टार्टिंग में फोटोसिंथेसिस में बनाया, कितना बनाया? ग्रॉस 100. प्लांट्स ने कितना यूटिलाइज कर लिया? 10. आगे पास होने के लिए कितना बचा है? 90. So that is the net productivity. We are talking here about what? Producers. Plants की बात हो रही है. Which are the primary producers? We call this as the 100 units as gross primary productivity. This is very, very important. 100 unit is the gross primary productivity. 90 is the net primary productivity that will be transferred to what? Consumers. जो आगे किसको पास हो गई? कंज्यूमर्स को पास होगी. सो दिस इज द फर्स्ट फंक्शन जहां से एनर्जी का सोर्स बिल्डअप होना है. अभी ये एनर्जी का सोर्स बिल्डअप हो रहा है पहले फंक्शन ऑफ इकोसिस्टम से, क्योंकि यहां पे फोटोसिंथेसिस हो रही है. हियर फोटोसिंथेसिस इज हैपनिंग, ऑर्गेनिक मैटर इज बीइंग प्रिपेयर्ड, व्हिच इज द ग्रॉस प्राइमरी प्रोडक्टिविटी. 10 units are utilized by the plants, the remaining 90 is known by the name of net primary productivity. This 90 units will be available to the consumers, but the rule is when we move from one trophic level to another, only 10% of this will be utilized by cows or by the tigers. So this is the first function of ecosystem. अगर किसी को डाउट है तो पूछ लीजिए. हाँ जी. 10% रूल क्या है? जो ऑर्गेनिक मैटर, जो एनर्जी पास होनी है, उसका सिर्फ 10% पास होगा. अगर 90 अवेलेबल है तो उसका सिर्फ 10% काउस के पास जाएगा. दैट विल बी 9 यूनिट्स. दिस इज द 10% लॉ. ये एक लॉ है जो मानना ही होगा इन स्पीशीज को. प्रोडक्टिविटी बहुत सारे फैक्टर्स के ऊपर डिपेंडेंट होती है, कितनी सनलाइट को यूटिलाइज कर पा रहे हैं प्रोड्यूसर्स, दैट इज वाई वो उतना फिर आगे ऑर्गेनिक मैटर प्रिपेयर कर पाएंगे. सो दिस इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. दिस इज द रूल दैट 10%, दैट इज वाई इट्स अ रूल. अगर हम बात करते हैं लिंड्समैन 10% लॉ. हाँ जी, yes, Vijay Lakshmi ji, Lindman 10% law. I hope this point is clear to everyone. What is productivity? So I'm going to write it again. Productivity, rate of organic matter produced during photosynthesis. If you're going to write it down with me, you can write it down. Rate of organic matter produced during photosynthesis. Gross primary productivity is the original 100 units. 10 units is being utilized by the producers. Remaining 90 is what we call as the net primary productivity. That is 100 minus 10. Try to remember with an example. It will help you a lot. Okay. But your name here is being shown as Vijay Lakshmi. So might watch link में problem होगी शिबू. Okay जी. चलिए जी. Is it clear guys? हाँ जी. Is this point clear? What is productivity? If it is clear, type yes. हाँ जी. Everyone. हम कह रहे हैं कि 10% रूल होता है, ऊपर नीचे तो हो ही सकता है, बट द मेजर थिंग इज कि 10% ही होता है. व्हाई दिस रूल इज 10%? आई विल टेल यू. बिकॉज एनर्जी कीप्स ऑन डिक्रीजिंग. सो जब when we talk about trophic level, there are only 3 or 4 trophic levels. After that there is no trophic level. Why? Because there is no energy left. That is why this 10% rule says that there are only 10% of energy transfer, because at the end there is no energy left. That is why we only have 3 or maximum 4 trophic levels in a food chain. We have 3 or 4 trophic levels in a food chain. I hope you have got my point. हाँ जी. क्यों? क्योंकि फिर आगे एनर्जी ही नहीं बचेगी. देयर विल बी नो एनर्जी लेफ्ट एट दिस ट्रॉफिक लेवल, because energy is always keep on decreasing. Clear guys? Now this was the first function of ecosystem. We have got an idea how the energy is coming to us, how the energy is coming to consumers. Source of energy is who? What? It is the sun. जिसको यूटिलाइज कौन कर रहा है? It is being utilized by plants. It is being utilized by plants that are the autotrophs that are able to fix this sunlight and prepare organic matter, which is being used by consumers. Clear guys? Now the second function which I wrote down was decomposition. Okay. बेटा ऑटोट्रॉफ्स इन्हीं को बोलते हैं दैट प्रिपेयर्स देयर ओन फूड. ओके. हेटरोट्रॉफ्स दैट आर डिपेंडेंट ऑन ऑटोट्रॉफ्स. टिल नाउ वी हैव डन, अभी 3-4 टॉपिक्स किए हैं. आर यू विद मी ऑन दैट टॉपिक्स? तो फाइनल एक हां कर दीजिए ताकि मैं डीकंपोजिशन में मूव करूं. आई डोंट वांट टू मूव फॉरवर्ड सो फास्ट ताकि आपके पिछले कंसेप्ट्स क्लियर ना हो. हाँ जी. ओके ओके ओके. शीतल, चित्रा, प्रयाग, आपके डाउट्स को आंसर किया जाएगा आफ्टर द क्लास. आई विल ट्राई टू मेक श्योर आई लिसन टू यू गाइस. ओके, बट अभी मेरी सुन लो, उसके बाद मैं आपकी सुनूंगा. ठीक है? ओके जी. चलिए जी. नाउ डीकंपोजिशन, वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट स्टेज. अब डीकंपोजिशन विल बी डन बाय whom? It will be done by decomposers, or we call them detrivorous. Detrivorous. Decomposition will be done by decomposer or by the detrivorous. What are decomposers? Decomposers feed on dead organic matter. What is the dead organic matter? when plants and animals die, their remains is known as dead organic matter. It is known as dead organic matter. It is also known by the name of detritus. Very important terms. शायद आप पहली बार सुन रहे होंगे, detritus. So dead organic matter is detritus. इसके ऊपर फीड कौन कर रहा है? Decomposers or the detrivorous. Those who feed on detritus are known as detrivorous, like bacteria, fungi, earthworms. Like bacteria, fungi, and earthworms, known by the name of detrivorous, that feed on dead plants and animals, which is known by the name of dead organic matter or detritus. अब इन्होंने करना क्या है? डिकम्पोजर्स ने प्लांट्स, एनिमल्स, एक फ्लो चार्ट सा बना रहा हूं. दे डाई. Who will feed on them? Decomposers. What will they do? They will decompose it. What are they trying to decompose? Organic matter, dead organic matter. They are trying to do what? They are trying to decompose dead organic matter. किसमें convert कर रहे हैं? It is trying to convert into a layer which is rich in nutrients. That is हम उसको ये कन्वर्ट करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं. किसमें? ह्यूमस में. Which is rich in nutrients, inorganic nutrients, nitrogen, inorganic nutrients, which will be utilized by again by the plants. So आप चीज देख रहे हो क्या हो रही है? There are plants and animals. When this die, dead organic matter, who will feed on them? Decomposers. Who will feed on them? Decomposers. And what will be the process of action? Decomposition. What will the process of action? Decomposition. Decomposition के बाद they will try to create a layer which is very much rich in nutrients, so it can be again utilized by what? Plants. So this is the second most important function of ecosystem. कि क्या हुआ क्या है? प्लांट्स ने खाना खाया, बनाया, कंज्यूमर्स ने फीड किया इनके ऊपर, दोनों डाई कर गए. उसके ऊपर फीड किसने किया? डिकम्पोजर्स ने. इट कैन बी बैक्टीरिया, फंजाई और अर्थवॉर्म्स. फीड करने के बाद अगेन दे कन्वर्टेड इनटू न्यूट्रिएंट्स व्हिच कुड बी यूटिलाइज्ड बाय अगेन बाय व्हाट? बाय दीज प्लांट्स और दी ऑटोट्रॉफ्स. तो एक साइकिल चलता है इकोसिस्टम के अंदर, विच विल बी आवर फिफ्थ फंक्शन, दैट इज द न्यूट्रिएंट साइक्लिंग, जो हम आगे डिस्कस करेंगे. बट द सेकंड थिंग दैट यू नीड टू रिमेंबर इज द सेकंड फंक्शन इज decomposition. Decomposition is the function or is the process through which dead organic matter, ये stage है, dead organic matter is being converted into inorganic nutrients. It is being converted into what? Inorganic nutrients. This is the second step or the second function of ecosystem by the name of decomposition. Now, I have a question for you guys. अगर ये ऑर्गेनिक न्यूट्री जो मैटर है, इट इज कॉम्प्लेक्स, इट इज डिफिकल्ट टू ब्रेक बाय दिस डीकंपोजर्स, will the decomposition will be slow or fast? Type in the comment section. If I am repeating it again, if the organic matter is complex का बना, salts का बना हुआ है, it is difficult to break, will the reaction decomposition be slow or fast? Yes, decomposition क्या होगी? It will be slow. So this is very, very important. So I think you have guys got it now. कि decomposition is the process through which this organic matter is converted into this inorganic nutrients. So write it down. I'm going to draw it again, guys. Don't worry. Your satisfaction is most important to us. Important to us. Plant animals die. इधर बन गया डेड ऑर्गेनिक मैटर. इसके ऊपर फीड कौन कर रहे हैं? डीकंपोजर्स. किस प्रोसेस के थ्रू? डीकंपोजिशन. किसके थ्रू? डीकंपोजिशन. And they are trying to create a layer that is humus rich in inorganic nutrients. This is the process of decomposition. वो आगे फिर nutrients कौन utilize कर लेगा? Plants. This inorganic nutrients will be again then utilized by plants. हाँ जी. Is it clear to everyone? If it is clear, type yes. Okay, guys. So write it down. Decomposition will be slow. Write it down. Decomposition will be slow if the organic matter that is to be decomposed, decomposition will be slow if the organic matter that is to be decomposed is made up of complex compounds. If it is made up of complex compounds, then the decomposition process will be slow. पहली चीज. Second thing, again a question for you guys. Decomposition is an oxygen requiring process. Decomposition is an oxygen requiring process. ठीक है? So if the conditions are aerobic or the conditions are anaerobic, in between these two conditions, aerobic conditions and anaerobic conditions, if the decomposition is an oxygen requiring process, which will favor decomposition, aerobic or anaerobic? Hanji. Which will favor decomposition? Absolutely, because these decomposers, earthworms, bacteria, they need oxygen. They will also breathe, na? So decomposition is an oxygen requiring process. Write it down. Decomposition is an oxygen requiring process. Full stop. Aerobic conditions favor the process of decomposition. Aerobic conditions favor the process of decomposition. Clear, guys? So these were the two functions of ecosystems. Productivity हो गई, खाना बन गया organic matter. It has been reached to plants, to consumers. They die. Dead organic matter being converted into inorganic nutrients. इतनी स्टोरी तो आपको समझ में आ गई. Now the third function is energy flow. Now this is very, very important. The third function is energy flow. Listen very carefully. Before I talk you about how energy flows, let me tell you, again taking the example plants, cow, tiger. अभी हमने पढ़ा ना, एक फूड चेन बना के पढ़ा था हमने. Can you tell me the source of energy was what? How these were able to get energy? What was the source of energy? Write it down fast. What was the source of energy? Yes, the source of energy was the sunlight. जिसके थ्रू यहां पे इन सबका पेट पल रहा है. They are getting their energy. So in the food chain, where the source of energy is sunlight, the food chain where the source of energy is sunlight, that food chain is known by the name of grazing food chain. हाँ जी, क्लियर है कि नहीं है? The food chain where the source of energy is sunlight is known as the grazing food chain. पहली बात. Second thing, I have made another food chain. Dead organic matter, earthworm, snake, vulture. Can you tell me what is the source of energy in this food chain? Hanji. What is the source of energy in this food chain which I have drawn it below here? Hanji. Okay, I'm getting your answers. I want more answers. I have written the source itself here. Yes, now you are getting it right. The source of energy here is this detritus, which is being eaten by these earthworms, eaten by this food chain. So the food chain where the source of energy is this detritus or dead organic matter is known as detritus food chain. Is known as detritus food chain. So there are two types of food chain: grazing food chain and detritus food chain. Grazing food chain में source of energy is sunlight, but when I talk about this detritus food chain, source of energy is this dead organic matter or the detritus. Is it clear? So food chain क्या है, अभी आगे कंपैरिजन करना है, but two types of food chain कौन सी हैं? Grazing food chain and the detritus food chain. Write it down and tell me you have written it down. जल्दी से. Grazing food chain and detritus food chain. हाँ जी, जल्दी से लिख लीजिए एंड मुझे नोटिफाई कर दीजिए. थैंक यू गाइस. चलिए, फूड चेन हो गई, ग्रेजिंग हो गई, डेट्रिटस हो गई, बट एक बहुत बड़ा डिफरेंस पड़ा है. डिफरेंस बिटवीन फूड चेन वर्सेस फूड वेब. फूड चेन में मैंने क्या किया, कोई एक आइसोलेटेड इवेंट उठा लिया कि प्लांट्स ईटन बाय काउज, ईटन बाय टाइगर. इज दिस थिंग हैपनिंग इन द इकोसिस्टम? नो. देयर आर लॉट ऑफ इंटरकनेक्टेड फूड चेन्स. काउ के बाद डियर आ सकता है, यहां पे वुल्फ आ सकती है. देयर आर लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स दैट कैन हैपन इन एन इकोसिस्टम which can be represented by different permutations and combinations. Is plant eaten only by these cows? No. So there are lot of combinations that can happen in an ecosystem which is better represented not by this food chain but by this food web. But by this food web. So what is food web? It is interconnected network of food chains. Interconnected network of food chains is known as food web, which is giving me the best picture of an ecosystem. Why? Because this is an isolated event. This is an isolated event or maybe one of the link in a food web, but not the true picture of an ecosystem. The true picture is being given by the food web, not by the food chain, because it is trying to show us the possible combinations and permutations that are happening in an ecosystem. So when I try to say food chain or food web में which is more stable, food chain or food web, type your answer. फूड वेब. यस, फूड वेब क्या है? हमारा मेजर स्टेबल है, ट्रू पिक्चर ऑफ इकोसिस्टम है, एंड इट वाज आस्क्ड इन द यूपीएससी प्रीलिम्स पेपर कि फूड चेन और फूड वेब में ट्रू पिक्चर कौन शो कर रहा है इकोसिस्टम की? फूड वेब. विच इज मोर स्टेबल? फूड वेब, बिकॉज इट इज गिविंग अस द परफेक्ट पिक्चर ऑफ एन इकोसिस्टम, ऑल पॉसिबल इंटरकनेक्टेड नेटवर्क ऑफ फूड चेन. सो इट इज ट्राइंग टू शो एनर्जी फ्लो ही बता रहा है ना, कि यहां से एनर्जी यहां पे गई, हो सकता है फिर यहां पे गई हो, फिर यहां पे गई हो. So it is trying to represent energy flow. Is my point clear? हाँ जी. As decom oxygen is the, it is required, it is not an energy source. Energy कहां से आ रही है? ऑर्गेनिक मैटर से आ रही है. डेड ऑर्गेनिक मैटर जो कॉम्प्लेक्स हमारे वो हैं, अमोनिया के कंपाउंड्स हैं, उससे सोर्स ऑफ एनर्जी आ रही है. Definition of food web, it is written beta, it is interconnected network of food chains. It is the interconnected network of food chains. हाँ जी guys. हाँ जी नैनी, is it clear? Okay, I will repeat the diagram. Diagram में है क्या? ये एक food web है. I am trying to say it can be any combination that can be happening in a food web. कुछ भी हो सकता है. ऐसे बहुत सारी लिंकेज बनी हुई है. What I am trying to say to you guys. ऑक्सीजन इज नेसेसरी फॉर डिकम्पोजिशन नहीं है. डिकम्पोजिशन जो डिकम्पोजर्स कर रहे हैं, दे रिक्वायर ऑक्सीजन. दे रिक्वायर ऑक्सीजन बिकॉज दे विल कम इन टू एक्शन व्हेन प्लांट्स एंड एनिमल्स डाई. दे नीड टू ऑल्सो ब्रीथ. हाउ विल दे ब्रीथ? दे विल रिक्वायर ऑक्सीजन. Okay. Now, I will clear your doubt. Okay. First, come to this point. Is it clear the difference between food chain versus food web? हाँ जी. Clear? Yes. Okay. Clear. चलिए. ठीक है guys. So energy flow में एक तरीका क्या है? That is food chain, food web, and next is ecological pyramid. Ecological pyramid. Now, listen very carefully. We have done food chain, food web, and the next topic is ecological pyramid. But before that, someone has doubt related to grazing, food chain, and detritus. I here say the source of energy. ऑब्वियसली बात है, फोटोसिंथेसिस से क्या प्रोड्यूस हो रही है? ऑक्सीजन ही प्रोड्यूस हो रही है ना. क्या प्रोड्यूस हो रही है? ऑक्सीजन प्रोड्यूस हो रही है. कार्बोहाइड्रेट्स प्रोड्यूस हो रहे हैं जो प्लांट्स अपने अंदर स्टोर करके रख रहे हैं. दैट इज द ऑर्गेनिक मैटर. दैट इज द ऑर्गेनिक मैटर. आया कहां से है? सनलाइट से आया है. अगर सनलाइट नहीं होती, हाउ प्लांट्स वुड हैव बीन एबल टू परफॉर्म द फंक्शन ऑफ फोटोसिंथेसिस? नो. हाउ द डीकंपोजर्स आर कमिंग इनटू एक्शन? बाय थ्रू दिस डेड ऑर्गेनिक मैटर. इनके ऊपर फीड करके ही दे आर गेटिंग द एनर्जी. दैट इज व्हाई दिस फूड चेन इज अकरिंग. सो क्वेश्चन वाज सोर्स ऑफ एनर्जी क्या है? यहां पे ऑर्गेनिक मैटर है, डेड ऑर्गेनिक मैटर, और यहां पे क्या है? सनलाइट. आई होप नाउ इट इज क्लियर टू एवरीवन. हाँ जी. चलिए जी. नाउ वी हैव कवर्ड. चलिए. द सिलेबस ऑफ एनवायरमेंट, difference between ecology versus ecosystem versus environment, levels of organization in ecology, functions of ecosystem. We have done 2 functions. So this will be it for today, because I don't want to rush into things, because energy flow, ecological pyramids are a vast topic along with ecological succession and nutrient cycling, which we will cover tomorrow. Now, you have any doubt related to the class, you can ask me and raise your hands. हाँ जी. The next topic will be covered in the next class. But PDF आपको मिल जाएगी. Chapter number 14 है class plus 2 की biology की NCERT का, that we have covered today. You can go to the NCERT and read. You will be able to understand each and everything. हाँ जी. Okay, you can raise your hand. Yes, Pinky Kaushik. You can talk now. हाँ जी. Yes, Pinky ji, you can unmute yourself. हाँ जी पिंकी जी. Okay. I think yes, Devshri, you can unmute yourself. हेलो देवश्री, बेटा आपको अनम्यूट करना पड़ेगा, देन ओनली आई कैन हियर यू. यू हैव टू अनम्यूट. अच्छा, ओनली चैट ऑप्शन इज देयर. ओके ओके.
Sir, where will I get PDF?
Okay, okay. You will get it after the class. Don't worry. Yes, you will get after the class. Okay, okay. Okay. Next is Rizwan. Hanji Rizwan. You can unmute yourself. Hanji Rizwan. I think voice is coming through. Okay, okay. I will try to take your doubts through the comment section. ठीक है, आप चैट में लिखिए, मैं फटाफट आपके डाउट्स लेता हूं. बेटा ऑर्गेनिक हो गए लाइक कार्बन के कंपाउंड्स, इनऑर्गेनिक हो गए लाइक नाइट्रोजन, हाइड्रोजन. दिस आर ऑल इनऑर्गेनिक कंपाउंड्स. कम्युनिटी क्या है? कम्युनिटी एक एरिया है. सपोज करो यहां पे कुछ लोग रह रहे हैं, मान लो कुछ इंडियंस रह रहे हैं, अमेरिकन रह रहे हैं, अलग अलग स्पीशीज के लोग रह रहे हैं. या फिर अगर आप बात मान लो टाइगर्स, कैट्स, डॉग्स, तो यहां पे एक एरिया के अंदर रह रहे हैं, इंटरेक्टिंग विद वन अनदर, दैट इज कम्युनिटी. जब आपस में ए बायोटिक का इंटरेक्शन आ जाएगा तब वो इकोसिस्टम बन जाएगा. ओके, आई एम गेटिंग सो मच डाउट्स. ओके ओके.
Hello,
हेलो.
sir. How
हाँ.
say why food web is more stable?
बाय
Why food web is more stable, sir?
food web is more stable because it is giving us a true picture of an ecosystem, because everything is not happening according to a food chain in an ecosystem. Everything
If
is
one-
happening according to food web. Food chain is an isolated event.
Sir, if one chain is break, what will happen in food web?
What? I didn't get your question.
Sir, if one chain is break, for example,
Yeah. If food chain में अगर हल्के से भी species में कुछ problem आती है, then it will affect the whole food web. It will happen. It will happen. Yes.
then how can we say it is stable?
फूड वेब एज एन होल, आई एम नॉट सेइंग कि इट इज कि अगर हम उसे ब्रेक कर रहे हैं, ऑब्वियसली यू ब्रेक वन थिंग देन फूड चेन विल आल्सो बी लाइक दैट. व्हाट आई एम ट्राइंग टू कन्वे इज लाइक सपोज दिस इज फूड वेब, राइट? I have taken a little thing out of it, I am calling it food chain, right? Which is giving me the true picture of an ecosystem, this or this? Tell me.
Food web.
फूड वेब, ऑब्वियसली बात है, कौन मुझे प्रोवाइड कर रहा है? फूड वेब. इफ फूड वेब इज गिविंग मी द ट्रू पिक्चर ऑफ एन इकोसिस्टम, देन विच इज गोना बी द मोर स्टेबल थिंग? Is gonna be the food web only, na, which is be the more stable thing, because this is an isolated event. It may be happening or might not be happening the same way. This we have taken to understand you guys regarding the information of energy flow.
Okay,
Are you getting me?
yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you. Okay. ओके. ऑटोट्रॉफ्स आर बेटा जो अपना खाना खुद बनाते हैं, ऑर्गेनिजम्स. वैसे हेटेरोट्रॉफ्स जो अपना डिपेंडेंट होते हैं ऑटोट्रॉफ्स के ऊपर. आदित्य, देयर if you want to ask me where there are only abiotic components, we will study ecological succession tomorrow. Okay, there I'm gonna tell you कि initially suppose there is a lava bursting, lava burst, there will be no life, only there will be abiotic components. That will be the term where we can say there are abiotic components. Individual is at micro level. मैंने वैसे बेसिक बताया कि कोई सबसे छोटे लेवल पे क्या है, इंडिविजुअल है, सबसे बड़े लेवल पे क्या है, बायोस्फीयर है. If 10% log gets then only 10, then how it can be 90 units? 90 units is available, but 10 units will be only passed to cows. 90 यहां पे अवेलेबल है, पर इसने सिर्फ 10% ही यूटिलाइज करना है. Only 10% will be utilized by it. Okay. Now don't go for advanced books just yet. Go for basic NCERTs. Till the time we are covering NCERT batch, then I'm going to tell you if you want to cover it or not. दिस वी गोना डिस्कस भूकिया जी कल जब हम बायोमास वगैरह डिस्कस करेंगे. डोंट वरी अबाउट दैट. Okay, guys. So I'm getting a lot of questions. Don't worry. I'm giving you my email ID. Type in your doubts at my email ID. Because एक ह्यूमन लेवल पे इतना पॉसिबल नहीं है सभी डाउट्स अभी लेने का. So rahul.singla02@yahoo.in. You can post your doubts to me at this email ID. Rest, I'm going to start the class tomorrow, same time, and class will be a little longer. Today was a first class, so we need to have a little introduction. ठीक है जी. Now, my name is Rahul Singla, as you can see. Sorry, I forgot to tell you my name. My name is Rahul Singla. Okay, guys. Thank you very much. We will meet tomorrow, same time, and एक बार पढ़ लीजिएगा, आपको PDF मिल जाएगी, उसे भी पढ़ लीजिएगा. It will be very easy for you guys. Thank you, guys.